I understand you've been back here on a number of occasions investigating the paranormal. Ben, the owner, had originally reached out to your group, FPI, to come and find out what was going on here. So what have you experienced here, and what, more importantly, what have you discovered?
We've been very lucky with this building. We're very fortunate because all of the team lived within a few hundred yards of this at one time. So Ben did get in touch with us saying he'd had a few strange occurrences here. And like I say, because we live so close, we were practically investigating this venue every week. So over the weeks, I've lost count for how many investigations we've actually done here. But we were able to build up a paranormal profile of the whole building.
Ooh, massive one just down there, past the mirror, front of the mirror.
But we've experienced all sorts. We actually did our first investigation in this room itself. And one thing about the Angel, one of the best things about the whole building is you get some fantastic EVPs here. We had probably one of our best EVPs we've ever had in this room itself.
And what was recorded there?
Well, we were the only ones in the building. Ben was actually on the other side of the building, but the only other people here was FPI, and we were doing an EVP session with some software, just amplification software. Paula and myself had headphones on.
Yeah.
Tim and Vicky didn't, and we were sat around and we thought we'd open up, and I said, let's all join hands then, shall we? And you hear a voice so clear say yes, just like that. Didn't need amplification, it was a Class A EVP, it was so fantastic.
Okay, we're recording again. Strong hands.
But we've had so many EVPs. Our very first investigation here, we picked up about 5 EVPs just in this room itself. And up in Magnum's, there's a lot of rooms upstairs that are empty now. It was a hotel at one time, but not anymore. So we've had the whole building for as long as we've wanted, as many times as we've wanted, and we've tried pretty much every experiment in this whole building. We've come up with some great results. We must really annoy you.
I get the impression that you don't like what we're doing.
We must really annoy you.
I get the impression that you don't like what we're doing.
And events, we've run a few events here as well. A few of our guests have seen full body apparitions. And these are guys who are completely sceptical. These guys just came along with their wives.
It's not wannabes who just
these guys just came along with their wives for a few beers. And certainly up in the Royal Room, as we said about earlier, the Royal Room is one of the most active rooms here. There's a 4-poster bed in there. And one of the chaps who was there, along with his wife, he wandered into the room on his own and came out very quickly. And his wife was outside and she goes, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "Oh, nothing. And she goes, "Come on, what's going on? I know you're up to something." He said, "Well, I've just been in this room here, and there was what looked like a maid dressed in an old-fashioned maid's uniform, bent over the bed making the bed. And I think she's making the bed, we better not go in there." So she said, "Okay, let's go and have a look." Opened the door, and of course there was no one there. And that happened twice on the same night, on the same event. But strangely enough, the chap who saw it at that time saw her as an elderly woman. Somebody else, a female who came along on the event, actually saw her as a young woman, but wearing the same old, almost Victorian maid's uniform. So there's, a lot of things. Shadows have been seen. We can show you when we look around.
Well, I mean, as I say, we're here today, and we're going to have a wander around. Albeit we're in the daytime, but even so, as we've heard, it's just as active during the day as it is during the night.
We've had as many results in the day as we have at night here.
So I'm looking forward to wandering around with you guys and hopefully touching base with spirit
and see what you pick up on as well.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Laura, you work here, as I understand, as a cleaner in this hotel, although the hotel is not currently being used as a hotel, but more of a pub.
Yep.
And how long have you worked here?
About a year now.
And in your capacity as cleaner, you're responsible for the hotel bedrooms?
Yep.
And also the general cleaning chores around the premises. And during the course of those activities, what have you actually experienced?
People touching me on the shoulders. Lots of banging, clattering, doors shutting, things like that.
Is it centralised to one particular area of the hotel, or is it fairly general?
I would say one hotel room I've noticed it in, and up in the club.
And what room would that be?
Royal.
The Royal Room. Okay, well.
And Dean as well.
What we're going to do shortly, in any case, we're going to wander around and check into those rooms to see what type of activity we can touch base with. But it's interesting that your experiences are totally confined to the daytime. Now, a lot of people in paranormal investigation, particularly so, always look towards the evening or nighttime for activity, but you're totally in the daytime, and yet you've had all these experiences.
Yep.
And what's your most frightening experience since you've been here?
Somebody touching me on the shoulder.
That was the most frightening. And you've seen people or shadows walking past you?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen anything levitated at all? Like
No.
in poltergeist behaviour?
No.
Having said all that, with all the things that have happened here, are you convinced that the premises is haunted?
Yeah, definitely.
And do you know who any of the ghosts are?
No, I just like to call him Fred because he's just a bit easier to work with.
Right, so it's a male ghost that you feel
I
you
believe
feel
so.
connection with, I
Yeah.
suppose. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's very, very kind.
I used to be housekeeper and now I'm on bar staff.
And I understand that you've had some spooky occurrences here.
Yeah, with both jobs. With the housekeeping, it'd just be banging around and everything. Up in the club, when we used to clean the club, we've noticed before, when we've gone to wipe the mirrors around the dance floor, there'd just be where people have kissed it with lipstick and everything, so we've wiped it off, and then just random handprints would just appear on the mirrors.
Really?
So you'd
Yeah.
think, you'd
Are
think...
they big ones or small hands?
No, they are quite big, dominant hands. You'd think, oh, maybe I just missed that, like when I cleaned the mirror. So you'd wipe it off, and it'd come again. You'd wipe it off, and then there'd just be loads of them. I work at night time mainly. Apart from Friday, I work in the day. I've heard him shouting. He shouts your name, and then
Who?
we call him Fred.
Fred the ghost.
Yeah, Fred the ghost. We all just know him as Fred.
Yeah.
I've heard him shout my name, so I've looked out into the kitchen, there's no one there. You know, we call then up to Ben, because it does sound like a male voice, so, you know, we just assume
So you
it's
assume
Ben.
it's the owner?
Yeah, but he doesn't answer, you know. We've heard him walk through we don't hear him walk through the pub, but then as it's like he's walking through the pub, but he's laughing, at the same time you just hear this random male voice.
Is that what you hear or what you feel?
No, I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that quite a lot.
That laughing?
He just likes to mess around. You know, we had an old phone that we swore was him messing around playing with, because it had quite a lot of lights on that phone. When somebody else used to just ring into the pub, there'd just be one or two lights, red lights that come on, and it'd just stay still. We'd pick it up, and we'd automatically know it was Fred, because all of these lights were on, but they were all flickering and messing around, and obviously there'd be no one at the other end apart from just weird noise. And we'd just say like, Fred, just stop it, and then put the phone down. We wouldn't hear back from him then the rest of the day. And I've been here as well, if I've been working on a nighttime shift on a Saturday, and I've been put in here. The fridge is behind the bar. They are quite hard to open. They're quite stiff, and I've been on there, not served anyone for about half an hour, and I look at the fridge and I'm like, I swear I shut that. I think it's just weird that he calls my name.
He knows your name?
Yeah.
And he says Abby. How does he say it? Is it deep voice or?
I don't know, it's almost as if he like wants to just get your attention, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. He just
Like
says
a
it.
demanding, snappy kind of,
Yeah.
Abby, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't. But I think that's the one that mostly like questions me about everything.
Well, I appreciate very much you coming here today
No
to
problem.
share these tales. Hopefully you'll be able to come around with us shortly, and you and Laura will be able to show us some of the places where some of the things have occurred. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great.
We do know of one particular spirit here. We won't say any names, but there is one particular spirit here who certainly doesn't like it here. It's fed up with a bunch of this.
I think this is something to do with going up to the roll room, wherever it is.
The other rooms.
So that's really where I'm focusing on. I don't feel here on a direct contact level, I don't feel a great deal here at all.
Yeah.
There are spirits here, but I don't feel that draw that you would feel if you're in a room.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Just you
It
can
feels
sense them
definitely-
here, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
One thing we do know about this room, in the 1920s and 30s and early 40s, probably during the war, it was a ballroom. So we've even tried to play the type of music as well.
Playing alone, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this guy is not communicating, is he?
Do you know what?
Do you want me personally to leave this room? Do you dislike me? If you dislike me, can you make these lights flash?
Yes.
Yes.
Went.
Mine hasn't.
I'm not being funny, but when you're talking, this side of me is getting really dizzy.
Yeah.
Are you standing here on Abby's left side? Jack, make the lights light if that's where you're standing now. Abby, is this where the room that you've been touched? Is it? On your shoulder?
Oh, that was me over there.
In here, yeah, because what we found as FBI is if we are in a large group here and we ask to be, sort of like prodded or have hair pulled, it happens.
Thank you.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
That is your night illuminator.
Yeah.
I saw that working.
Look at that. Yeah, that was perfectly
And the whole
fine.
front has just been ripped off.
Yeah, look at it, it's on the floor.
And it's on the floor down there, Sean. Look.
Look at that.
Wow.
That was good.
If we're looking at this tape here, this was covered right over this. This was firmly in place when I
and that
saw
on the
it.
floor, yeah.
And then it was covered over with a lens cap. And now the whole thing's just been ripped
Been
out.
pulled out. It's actually been ripped out.
And it's still hot. You can still feel it.
That's been on there for about 2 years now, with
Wow.
no problems at all.
Thank you very much. That was certainly a good way of letting us know that you're now with us.
Yeah.
Are you friendly? If you're not, we'll make lights flash.
Is this a spirit that just doesn't like us being here? Yes.
We've got Jack.
Yeah. Jack, can I ask then, is this you? Yeah.
Yeah, the light flashed.
Jack, you're capable of actually pulling our hair or prodding us quite severely. We were actually talking about that when you pushed the lights off the camera. So we know you can move over into our physical realm and actually create physicalities. Can you do that to one of us now, standing here in a circle? Jack, can you pull our hair or prod us as severely as you knocked that light off?
Yeah.
Yes, can you do that now?
Yours okay?
Yeah.
Can you do that now, please?
Oh, it's one of the fridges.
Perhaps to Chris. Prove to Chris, this is Chris here. Can you prove to Chris that you're here and you're able to prod?
I've got a feeling that he doesn't like Chris.
I think the impression I'm getting now is, and all the stuff that we've done, is that these light spikes are emotional responses. So if we're talking about something which is something very close to the spirit and means a great deal to them, we get a much stronger reaction on the light spike, as opposed to other reactions which are quite minor. We've had one or two minor reactions, and I've just seen someone move over here.
That's normal. If you see
Yeah.
a shadow across that bar,
I saw a figure, a shadow. I saw a shadow figure. It was here, and it ducked down.
Yeah, that's it. Just for the record then, it's interesting you said that, because I've seen that myself, Mark has seen it. We've had several members on events see exactly the
Wow.
same thing, a dark shadow run across behind his bar.
If you want us to go, can you make our lights flash?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's it, it does.
Yeah.
That's
Why do you want us to go? Do you just want peace and quiet? But we're in a hotel, it's noisy and busy. Is it peace and quiet you desire?
do you think it's morally wrong that we should be talking to you? To you? To you?
We've had that before, haven't we? Yeah.
You like to scare us? You like to scare the girls? Yes. Yeah. So that's your pleasure and that's your addiction. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you believe in God, Jack?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Can you make the K2 lights on this device, can you make them all flash up? Can you do that? If you think it's stupid, can you make lights flash down? I don't get much response.
I felt something then go that way.
I bet if I don't
Should we make our way up to the roof?
I think that's our break, so you have to get that.
Yeah, right.
Do you pick anything up in here, a particular speed?
I just heard something.
I did.
Yes.
I did, I just heard it through there.
Something
I
just
thought
went.
it was through that door.
Yeah, no.
Let me just tune in, sorry.
There's a definite breath.
Did you?
So what's that we did
I don't know.
Right, okay, my initial impression, and it's nothing more than that, was female.
Good, yeah. Spot on.
But there's a male presence here as well.
Right.
And this is over, this presence is merging over the female presence. In other words, the male presence is actually stronger than the female presence.
Right.
And I feel, also in this room, in years past, a terrible or violent act took place in this room. It could be anything from someone being beaten up, to someone being murdered, or even to someone being raped. But a very violent and very abusive act that took place. And I think, and I can feel that as a negative energy attached to this room. Can I ask you a question, this lady of this room? Is your name Catherine? Could you make the lights flash? If it is, please. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay, thank you,
Every time,
Catherine.
yeah.
You've confirmed that, thank you. Are you trapped here because of your allegiance to the property, that there is an unfinished act? There's something here that's holding you back out of your own choice?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the next obvious question. You actually like being here, don't you?
Mm.
Do you like, yeah.
Did one
The
flash?
middle one flashed.
Isn't it funny how it's just the one going off as well?
Well, we think she's quite dominant up and down the entire.
Yeah,
St
the
John's
entire street. We even think at one point she was in my flat.
Can I just ask, Catherine, is the Empress here?
Yes.
The Empress card in my tarot card
Oh, right.
came out
Mhm.
twice, and I asked about the Empress, and
We used to
You
call her the
think she-
Empress, yeah.
is able to wander.
I'll ask you another question. Have men done terrible things to you? Hurtful things to you? Is that what has made you angry? If so, yeah. Was it one particular man that you have in mind? Is it one person? If so, could you make the lights flash? Is it a number of men that have entered your life then, obviously, on that response? Could you answer that, please, Catherine? I'm not trying to hurt your emotions. I'm just trying to find out more about you.
Mine's going mad.
Wow.
Yours going mad.
They're all going.
She's talking. She's
That's
talking.
the first time yours has gone.
She's talking. Have you done some terrible crime that you regret? Is there something that you've done that you regret?
Catherine, Catherine, would you regard yourself as a strong
Oh, really
personality?
dark.
Mm.
Are you strong-minded, strong-willed? Are you a strong woman, Catherine?
Okay, well, I'm just trying to determine which period of history. So if I go through centuries, if I hit the right century, could you make lights flash as saying, yes, this is the century? I will go back one. I'll start with the 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, 18th.
Yes, 18.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Catherine, were you a businesswoman? And forgive me, yes. Okay, you've answered that, thank you. But she had to think about that.
I think I know why as well.
Were you a late, I'm not being disrespectful, and I don't want you to be upset by this comment because I'm just trying to work out who you are.
What are you going to say?
Were you a lady of the night?
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what we've had before.
Thank you.
It's exactly what we've had before. I didn't want you to say anything. I wanted you to come to your own conclusion about that.
Were
So I didn't say anything.
were you frequently attacked by some of your male clients?
Yes.
Yeah. And were some of these men disgusting creatures? Yeah. Is that the image of the age that you prefer to be known as in your mid-30s? Is that, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how you
Hang on,
project
hang on.
yourself?
Just before you said yes, did someone say yes?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
Because
Oh, you said yes. Yeah.
I
Sorry,
thought I heard
I
some
did.
yes tonight.
Because that's what I've
Are
always
you
thought as
happy
well.
with us being here, Catherine? Are you happy? Do you think we're decent people? Are you happy for us to be here? Yeah.
Yeah. We've never had
And you know
anything
Adam
relevant.
and I well, don't you, Catherine?
Yes. I've never been to this hotel before in my life, and for me this has been a revolutionary revelation of the activity that takes place in this hotel. And I'm certainly very, very surprised how cooperative Spirit is in this building. And I've just come out of that room from having a contact session with a spirit who's given a name as Catherine, and it was an amazing, amazing event. I used my own K2, which was separate from their K2s, and it still registered the same responses. And we got some excellent and very positive responses to some of the questions that have been asked of her. And I am very, very greatly impressed. And I'm hoping to see what we're going to achieve when we go to the Y room, which allegedly, from what I understand, is a room where babies or children have been hurt. So this could be also an interesting excursion into the unknown. I hope you can join us.
Chris, come have a look at this.
What?
Up down the yellow mirror. Handprint of a child, look. Can you see it?
And here. Yeah, I can see it if I keep Mark's top over. That's it. If it's fine there, I can see it better on there. There's definitely a human handprint.
Yeah, definitely.
How many fingers?
4 and 1 thumb.
So it's a child's hand?
Yeah.
Nothing on the thermal, so it's
cold,
obviously
so it's
out,
an old one, isn't it?
Now, if I remember from what I was told earlier, that on the mirrors here, handprints appear. That's really, really interesting. Can I just get Abby to come over and have a look? Does that look like the kind of handprints that you're used to seeing
It definitely
here?
looks like a handprint that I'd see around here, but I normally do see a big dominant male hand on the mirrors.
Although that looks more...
That is tiny hand.
That's tiny.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Who spotted it?
Laura.
Oh, Laura spotted it as we walked round. Okay, that's really, really good. Well, I think this is starting to get a little bit more interesting, so let's carry on.